Hello, I'm Benny Westside, and welcome to the crash course for Gwenom. Today we're going to talk about her abilities, T4 upgrades, building her gear, ISO, then I'm going to talk about what my plan is, and then I'll do a quick recap at the end, and hopefully this video will help you make more informed decisions once you either buy her or unlock her down the line via whatever event they come up with. Just before I start, I want to mention we don't know the full team. I've been asking and asking and asking, but we don't know what Red Goblin's kit looks like. We don't even know his combat tag, whether he's a blaster or a support or a protector. No clue. So everything we talk about today is preliminary. Uh, Unfortunately, I'm unable to give final, or not even final, but gra- more grounded um, recommendations than I'm doing today. Even ISOs, I have an ISO class in mind for her, but once we know Red Goblin's kit, it might completely change. So we're in this together. I'm trying to give the best advice that I can give, but be tentative. I'm being tentative. I would recommend the same. All right, let's start with her passive Symbiote Ghost. She has a small heal for herself and all symbiotes on her own turn only. When she's over 50% health, she has dodge chance. When she's below 50% chance, she has drain, which is a nice mechanic, and it gives her a little more self-sustain. And then she has the focus passive for the team. When she or a Hive Mind ally drops below 50%, she's going to apply 2 evades to that character. I think this is good, but that's all it is. I don't see. We don't know what Red Goblin's going to do. Maybe when Hive Mind ally dodge, he gives 20% speed bar to the whole team, or he attacks the whole enemy team. We don't know. But right now, I think this is just a nice to have upgrade. Uh, yeah, it's reflexive protection. It's good to have, but it's not an essential upgrade. I've generally been a T4 hoarder. I'm usually like over 4,000, 5,000 T4s, and right now I'm like dancing with the 2,000 line, and I'm pretty apprehensive about upgrades. That's why maybe my recommendations have gotten a little more conservative. Um, this is nice. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's essential. All right, let's look at her ultimate, because when we run her with Void Knight, she's gonna have this ability ready on turn 1. So let's start with our ultimate. But on her own, this is gonna be a turn 2 ability. Clear all barrier from all targets. This is great. And then attack all enemies. Apply offense down. Apply offense up and defense up to self and all Spider-Verse allies. All Hive Mind characters are Spider-Verse. Initially, they didn't have the Spider-Verse tag on Void Knight. That's probably why they called this out. It's redundant. But all Spider-Verse allies, this is a nice bit of synergy that could be utilized with Sinister Six or Tangled Web, Black Cat maybe, or something else that comes down the line. We have like 4 Spider-Verse movies coming this year, so we might be looking at more Spider-Verse characters. Let's see. Alright, in raids, she's going to apply stun to the enemy with the highest damage, not the primary, and she's going to ignore taunt and stealth, and then she's going to generate ability energy for the whole team. And she gets extra focus on this ability per symbiote ally, and that's great. The T4 gives barrier to the whole team and adds a lot of damage. I think this is a good upgrade. It's an AoE 90% damage upgrade to everybody. Is a big upgrade. Barrier is nice, but again, I don't think this is an essential upgrade. It doesn't bring crucial functionality. So this is another one that we can save. Alright, special, Tongue Twister. Gain the opposite of all negative effects, excluding bleed, on the primary target. So this is similar to what a anti-venom does on his ultimate. He's gonna apply primary and apply stun, attack primary and apply stun, and then attack adjacent targets. She's gonna generate ability energy to self and all hive mind, regardless of raid. On her ultimate, it was only in raid. Here, it's everywhere. And then in raids, she's gonna spread positive effects from self to all hive minds. So this is the other half of what Agent Venom does, right? Anti-Venom does, right? So here, it's locked to raids, unfortunately. And then it's only 3 until you do the T4. With the T4, she's going to spread all of them. And then it also improves her stun from being 1 to 2 turns. I think this is the best upgrade we've seen so far. Still not essential, but I think this is high value. I would recommend it. But, you know, as I said, it's not crucial. It doesn't unlock new functionality. It just improves the functionality that she has. But I think so far this is the best. So her basics: Savage Web, attack primary and adjacent, flip 2 positive effects, apply defense down, and then apply bleed to the primary. In raids, she's gonna generate an ability energy for self and all hive mind. And then the T4 upgrade brings barrier clear on primary and adjacent. I think this is also a nice upgrade. Again, not essential, but barrier clear can be pretty valuable, especially with these like crazy jacked health stats that we're starting to see, whether in raids or, you know, if you want to use her in Dark Dimension. Barrier clear is very sneakily valuable in Dark Dimension. So keep that in mind. But I think, again, this is another passable or skippable but good upgrade. Alright, so that's that. Now, let's talk about her ISO. Sorry, I blanked. I think she's looking like a strong striker. As I said, we don't know the full team. We don't know what Red Goblin does. It could change, but I think she's looking like a strong striker with this ability energy on her ISO attack, which it doesn't show here, but in the blog that they revealed her, we saw there. What we have for ability energy on this team is Void Knight on spawn in raids, or actually in all game modes on spawn, and then Gwen on all of her abilities generates ability energy. Following that up with another energy means on turn she gives 2 energy to the whole team. I think that's pretty fantastic. It means you can keep rolling that Void Knight ultimate. You can use Venom spread, things like that. So I think she's going to be a good striker. Also, she applies bleeds on her basic and her ISO, and Void Knight, the healer on the team, heals whenever an enemy takes damage from bleed. So following up with extra bleed is always good, because her ultimate or her special, neither of these abilities apply bleed. So being able to follow up and apply bleed is a good call. So she's looking like a strong striker, but we'll see the final team composition, and I will let you know when that happens. In terms of building her, I think she's a strong character. Her speed, I think, is 120. So she, 120. I don't know if she will have solo value, but she can plug into other Spider-Verse teams. So I think she has good value off of the team as well. And this is one of the only 2-turn stuns, turn 1, 2-turn stuns we have in the game. So I think that's also pretty awesome. And as a damage dealer with a lot of control abilities, she's gonna make use of all the stats that you give her, all the gear, all the levels that you give her. So whatever you can afford, she'll be happy. Uh, but in terms of like raids and what the team needs to do, I would say treat her similar to what you did with Sunspot. She's very similar. She's a damage dealer that also brings energy. So, um, what she absolutely needs to do is come in and give that energy. Um, she doesn't need to do the damage or the stuns, but you want to. So, make her. I think, like, at least for the stuns, you want her big enough for those stuns. But beyond that, build her to the point where she's not dying, one, and two, where the stuns are landing, and then three, if you're willing to and have the resources to, build her as high as you can to get that damage. That's my take on her. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with level 90. Sorry, level 90. Yes, gear 16 or 17, and my plan is to buy like the cheapest offer that has the progression for the Nova costume, because I really like the costume and I want it. So I'm gonna buy the cheapest offer with progression for that progress. Anyway, um, and then I'll take her to level 90, gear 16, 17, slowly, like over the course of a week. I'd want to get there. I don't want to rush build her. I don't think that's worth it. Um, because with just four of them, they're still not beating the raid. They're not going to be beating the raids, so it's not worth rushing. Um, and then ISO wise, I'll take her to striker, and I'll do striker 4 probably. Um, Maybe I'll stay at 3, but I don't think so. I'll take her to 4, and then we'll see. My blue 4s have been not too bad right now, so I'll take her there, and then I think that's it. Gear, level, ISO, buying. Yeah, so that's my plan. Um, let's do a quick recap. Gwenom, tentatively a striker, tentatively no essential upgrades. Special is the most valuable out of them. The passive is great. The ultimate is high value. The basic is nice, but none of them are crucial. And then gear recommendation or gear and level recommendation is going to be similar to what you did with Sunspot. Make sure she's surviving, and you want to get her high so that she's landing those stuns. But I don't think she's a character that you want as a skirmisher, because that energy from those ISO attacks, for me personally at least, is more valuable. So if the stuns are more valuable for you and you don't want to build her high, then you can go skirmisher. I'm gonna build her, as I said, to 17 or 16, 17, and run her as striker. Um, I'm always partial to energy and speed bar, so that kind of guides my decisions that way. Um, yeah, that's about it. Check out my infographic on this. I'll be putting the link in the description down below. Let me know what your plan is. Have you found any uses for the team so far? I'm seeing some interesting comps for war and such. And if you've discovered anything, let me know. I'm always interested to see. Um, Thank you for doing this with me. I apologize that I am being non-committal, and I seem indecisive, but it's because we don't know the full team. If and it's just the unfortunate circumstance that we find ourselves in. Hopefully they don't do this again and break up teams between patches. Thank you for going over Gwenom's crash course with me. I hope to see you in the next one.